In the defining moment of Marvel's cinematic universe, there's a scene that could not be more appropriate as an analogy for Elijah's moment of vulnerability, followed by the Lord's reminder of his divine providence, even in the midst of our most personal battles. Barely standing on the battlefield, beaten and wounded, Captain America stood alone as the massive armies of the genocidal Thanos came into view, armed only with the knowledge that he had to stand tall against this enemy regardless of the outcome. Cap tightened his battle-damaged shield and prepared himself for a battle that had no visible winning outcome for him.
He was hopelessly outnumbered, physically depleted of his strength, and had already lost this battle once before.
But this one wouldn't end the way that it did last time. As Captain America prepared himself to face what appeared to be a foregone conclusion against an overwhelming opponent, he heard the sound of a still small voice whisper into his earpiece, "On your left." And as he stopped to look behind him, he saw a portal open up, and a small batch of supporters arrived, followed by another portal, and another, until thousands of previously invisible reinforcements assembled with him to face the greatest threat that Earth had ever seen.
Like the fictional Captain America or the very real prophet Elijah, our enemy will try to break us by making us feel alone, outnumbered, and overwhelmed by their intimidating threats and attacks.
But rather than permit these events to silence us or send us running to the hills, let's tighten that buckle on our shield of faith and assemble together with our fellow believers in solidarity and reground ourselves on our Savior who has already overcome the world. Our enemy will try to come in like a flood to break our spirits, and even the mightiest people of faith are just one really bad day away from a fall if we forget that we are all only standing by the grace of God.
But we can take heart in the compassionate way that the Lord neither condemned nor abandoned Elijah when his faith was low.
Instead, he came as a still small voice on your left to remind Elijah that he is still the omnipotent God who had just supernaturally answered by fire the day before. And he lovingly strengthened the faith of his child with a reminder there's still work to be done, there is help on the way, and you have thousands of support options. You just can't see them yet. And in our real world battles, we have the same choice to make, even if we already ran from the battlefield or were defeated in this same battle the last time.
It can be hard to stand tall on the same field of battle that contains our greatest defeat. And when we can't see any path to victory, it is tempting to simply allow our bad day to become the place where all of our dreams are buried with finality.
But that is why we are equipped with a shield of faith, placing our full defensive strategy to quench the fiery darts of our enemy in our complete belief in what we cannot see. And in the midst of our greatest storm, we can choose to reject the narratives that they attempt to place on us, and instead allow them to propel us into the unique destiny that would never have been possible if that one bad day had never happened.
The Lord didn't design our pain, but he will take our trembling hands into his nail-scarred hands and remind us that we are not alone. He will help us and strengthen us through this journey, and we have a greater destiny on the other side of this disaster.
We can hold on to his promise in our darkest night, that greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world. And while we will all endure different levels of trials and tribulations on this planet, we don't have to win these battles. We just have to stand tall in our armor, endure the storm underneath the shadow of his wings, and keep a tight grip on that shield of faith, no matter how overwhelming our opposition appears.
Let's bring the Lord our broken shield of faith today and bring ourselves to a place of quiet prayer with him so we can hear his still small voice of reassurance and find both healing and a new sense of purpose while we are still in the midst of our broken season.
And if we submit our broken hearts and our shattered dreams to him, he will take what the enemy intended for our evil and turn it into good. We just have to listen for that still small voice that says,